Hi, it's James Wesley and...
Wait, no, we have to begin with the thing that Jack made us. Literally, Jack is going to get so mad if we don't do it.
He's going to get so mad.
Here's the beginning Jack made us. Hi.
Oh, okay.
See, now it's like much more professional.
That's professional. Okay.
Okay, so James, you're going to a meeting in 5 minutes.
I'm going to explain everything in a second. I want to make sure this is charged. So, if any of you notice, it may look a little bit different. Why, you may ask? Not only are we using my mom's HD little camera,
which is not cool. Not cool at my age. Go on.
But we've changed. Look at the fancy stuff that we think that we can do now. So it can literally be at the piano.
Wait, you can totally tell how bad my posture is. Hold on.
Well, you have to be prepared for anything, Seth, just like our guests.
Still got it.
That's right. Okay.
Anywho.
So that's our new setup. We're going to see how long this lasts. Those of you who have seen the show from the beginning know that we've been in like four or five different set positions.
It's just like our living room. So we just have a rickety-backety piano light. Anyway,
we are our set designer all in one. What is Stars in the House? Stars in the House is a twice daily, online, because you're watching us online, talk show with music and to lift spirits and educate people with the help of our wonderful friend, Dr. John LaPook, the chief medical correspondent for CBS News and Stars in the House. And as we seem to have to explain every day, Actors Fund is not just for actors. It is definitely not for rich actors on the coasts.
Yeah, there's like a rumor that it's for basically anybody in the arts that's struggling, which by the way is 98% of the people. Right. And it's for things like paying people's rent, paying people's medical bills, paying people's childcare.
And as BB Newirth said a couple of weeks ago, the Actors Fund, the reason why it was called the Actors Fund 138 years ago is because back then, there was no TV, there was no records, there were no film. It was only stage, and everyone was called an actor.
No matter what you did. So it's for stage managers, people behind the scenes. Anyway, the money, their Actors Fund is doling out in like emergency help. How much money per day?
$250,000 a day.
So this is just a small smattering.
That's right.
Of the money that they need.
And I want to do some shout outs to people who donated at the end of the last show.
By the way, I literally forget so quick. Oh, this was Thursday Variety. We had so many amazing people.
Well, yeah, it was wonderful. So we want to say a thank you and a shout out to Jim from New York who donated $25. There we go. So let's do that a little bit. We got to see him playing. Rob from New York, $100. Sarah from New Jersey, $50. Stephen from Michigan, $50. Seth, Lilli from Hawaii, $100. I don't know if we've had a Hawaiian before. And Kerry from Florida, $50. For a grand total of over $170,000 in the last 3 weeks and change.
Just from the show and all the artists who volunteered to be on it.
Yeah, thank you so much. So a couple of things.
Yes, Queen.
So I want to show that picture of how our day was yesterday before we get to
we tell the story, then we show the reveal.
Okay, we'll get it ready for everyone's stuff. So yesterday, yes. So we
live in the country right now,
right? And we had a repairman come. He was very, very safe, and where he came, he kept like literally 10, 15 feet distance. Did all that,
plastic over the shoes.
And when he left, he had closed the gate, but our gate is a little bit tricky. And it didn't, and I should have gone down there and I should have locked it.
But the point is that Mandy was outside eating grass. So I'm making breakfast. I'm like, boy, Mandy's eating grass for such a long time. What a good girl. And then we looked outside.
And literally 2 of the 4 dogs were gone. Which dogs? Well, my mom has 2 of the dogs. Her dogs were good. They stayed. Our 2 dogs, Mandy and Bagel, long gone. Mandy, we could hear, because as you can hear her whining right now, she was easy to find because of her barking, just 2 houses down. The other one, Bagel, the beagle with the nose, we could not find him anywhere.
I was running everywhere. I was in high heels. No, that's not true. But I was running everywhere. It was so difficult. We went 2 different directions. Finally, you found him.
Well, because I heard the typical beagle howl. And so I went and he was a good boy and he stayed, but I took a picture. This was yesterday. We just forgot to show it.
In the woods. Bagel in the woods.
Yeah. And he was happy.
Yeah, look how happy he is.
Yeah. There he is.
We have 2 giant...
But wait a minute. See how far our house... Well, you can't see, but if you look in the distance there, there's the house. That's how far he had gotten.
We literally have 2 giant wolves and bears in there. And he's just like, giggle, giggle.
It was terrifying. And that's why I had to tell Margie, our other executive producer, why I was 2 minutes late for our 11 o'clock meeting yesterday. Okay, I'm about to leave.
Because we have a big quiz you've got to work on tomorrow.
Well, but also we have, and we just haven't shared it, as we all know, the announcement from the Broadway League was that Broadway will be closed until at least June 7th. And our vow was that with help of our friends and new friends, that we would continue to do the show twice a day until Broadway reopens. And in order to make that happen, we're not going to make the announcement now, but we've got not one, but two sponsors who are going to help us do that. And we will make that announcement shortly, but I've got to leave to go do some producing stuff. And tomorrow, I believe the story will break about who our reunions will be next week.
Yeah, we got some big TV reunions.
TV reunions that we're really excited about. And
that's next week.
And one in particular, I'll just give a clue. If anyone who knows Seth Rudetsky really well and how he was influenced comedy-wise will know that will be one of the shows that will be coming up.
Not Bugs Bunny, but
that's true. Not the
Carol Burnett show.
That's okay. All right.
But
well,
one of
Lilli. Okay.
Well,
I said one.
All right, fine.
Okay. So on that note, go ahead, Seth.
Someone busted.
What?
Bagel, you little mashugana puppy. Quit giving your dad's
Isn't that
culinary.
the truth? Oh my gosh. All right. So I'm going to make sure you're.
I'm not judging, but I'm at 88, so it's fine.
You have a wonderful show. I'm going to still make sure.
Okay. You go to me, Mandy. Please stop crying.
And I may have to take Mandy.
All right, guys. So we're doing a big reunion tonight. It is Spring Awakening, the 2007, the old school cast, people, not the original with Gavin Creel. That was 2003. Name dropping. This is like the actual one on Broadway. Please welcome so many people from the show. Okay, so hold on. Here we go. So I'm going to start with the youngest cast member ever who's wearing cool cans. Hi, Remy.
Hey.
Hey, girl. And then we all know him as BCJ. No, we really don't. But it's Brian. Hi, Brian.
People know me as BCJ.
I don't. Now what? Okay, Lauren Pritchard, known as LP. No, she's not. Hi, Laura.
Guys, what's going on?
Phoebe, who's going to take a stroll. Hi, Phoebes.
Hi, how did you know I was the oldest? That's so rude.
Actually, I'm saving the oldest for Mr. Skylar Astin.
Yeah.
Guys, we're back. Okay, so what's happening right now, we're on StreamYard.com, and you can't have first of all, you can only have 6 people on screen. But you can't have too many people waiting or else the whole system shuts down. So these are my first 6. So those of you having a panic attack saying like, where is Moritz? I'm not going to look at the comments. They're coming. It's one big show. So everybody settle. I got to start with these clowns first. First of all, Phoebe, what are you drinking? I'm just a teenager. What's happening?
Tito's and soda with a lime wedge.
We're in quarantine. Oh, I forgot to warn everybody. Also, if anyone talks at the same time, all the sound goes out. So basically, while someone else is talking, you have to nod politely in complete silence and then be like, and then speak. By the way, why is my lighting gray? You guys look amazing. Is it because I'm 50 years older than you? Not cool. Okay, so Rem, you're the youngest in the show. I always thought Kristin Rodriguez was. How old were you when you got into Spring Awakening?
Did you say me?
Yes, Rem.
Okay, yes. I was 16 going on 17 when we did the workshop.
Well, you were going on 17 when you got cast in the show. Were your parents like, you are not doing that sex show? It's not happening.
Yeah, actually, they were pretty supportive. I was kind of the one where when I got the sides, because it was the beating scene, and when I got the sides, I went, I can't do this. I don't want to do this.
So what finally made you go like, I can't do this? A paycheck? I mean, what did it?
Honestly, so at the time, Marta and Taya were different characters. So I was reading as Taya, who was saying the Marta monologue before Dark I Know Well. And I don't know, I felt like it was really important to honor and share the stories of sexual violence.
Brava on the deep thoughts. I appreciate it. Phoebes, did you do any of the early readings or did you come on just for the Broadway?
No, I got cast in the off-Broadway. And then, Atlanta.
When you were doing it off-Broadway, did you ever think it was going to go to Broadway? Or were you like, whatever, I'll make $90 a week for the next 6 months and then peace out?
Well, actually, no. Of course, I hope. But the first paycheck I got, this was my first New York theater job. The first paycheck I got, I actually burst out laughing. And I went out to the company manager and I said, I can't live off of this.
Did you believe how small it was?
Yeah. But he had no response to that, so I had to figure that out.
Yeah. By the way, P.S. This is why the actress fund is so needed because even people working, they're not making money. Now nobody's working, so nobody has money. I mean, really, you're being a hit show, and it's like people have day jobs while they're in hit shows. Okay, Lauren, by the way, I love your mirror in back of you. It makes the room look much larger. It's a nice Martha Stewart.
Thank you.
When did you join the show?
I joined the show. I did a workshop, and then I did it off Broadway, and I'm thrilled with it.
By the way, what did I say was going to be happening? Okay, if I see comments like this again, I explained clearly we're doing the 2 sections. Don't make me block you, Emporio. Thank you. Sorry, Laura.
Emporio, I promise that Jonathan Groff will make an appearance.
It's all good, as we say.
He's with us all the time. He's right here. He's right over here. Even when he's not, even when you can't see him, he's still here with us. Don't worry, Emporio.
Groff sauce. All right, BCJ, what are you drinking? Because again, wait, first of all, I can't tell if you're frozen or contemplating. Frozen. Moving on.
He's frozen.
I think he's frozen.
I'm drinking lemonade, really crystal light. All right, Skylar. First of all, happy Pesach.
I don't know.
Thank you so much, Chag Samach.
I'm drinking some Jameson and ginger.
Brian, you just unfroze. You were frozen for the last 2 minutes, by the way, like that, and now you're back. I think the Wi-Fi. Yeah. Okay. Now you're moving.
I was just
it's all good.
Back, baby.
Okay. So hold on. I'm moving over to the Jew. Skylar.
Jameson and ginger.
Crystal Light. Skylar. The last name.
Yes.
I know, Skylar, you're drinking Manischewitz. The last name is so Goyisha, and the first name is so Goyisha. Where is the Judaism?
Lipstein, my real last name.
And what's your first name? Moisha?
Skylar Astin Lipstein.
How did I get Seth Rudetsky and you got Skylar Astin?
Well, maybe if you were like Seth Austin or like something like.
Are you asking to marry you? I'm married. Not cool. Okay, Sky, when did you join the show?
I joined the show at the Lincoln Center reading. It was one of those when they did the Jazz at Lincoln Center concerts, and it was actually the last time that this adaptation had the masked man in it, which for those of you who know the original Spring Awakening play, there's like this character named the masked man. And Roger Bart had done it with Gavin Creel, and Michael McElroy did it once. But when I did it, Michael Cerveris played it. And it was kind of amazing. However, just like, it was just kind of a pointless role in the musical because he just echoed everything that like everyone said. Just after Purple Summer, he would be like, Purple Summer, and you're like, I didn't need to reiterate that. And like also, and then there were none, like he was the one that did it with Moritz. And so we all kind of became the masked man in the spirit of the show once that role.
But what I just think is interesting for people watching is like, when you're in high school and you do a show, the show is like done. When you're lucky enough to be part of an original cast, you get to see like things develop. And that's what's so cool. Like you guys got to see the show go from like what it was into like winning the epic Tony. Okay, so
yes.
Favorite memories. BCJ, favorite memory of Spring Awakening. Isn't it possible? Was wig falling off, bra snapping, falling off the stage? Go.
When John Groff forgot all the words to Left Behind.
That's mine.
For sure.
Wait, he left behind his own words?
Yeah, he just kept repeating the chorus.
Oh God, so good.
Yeah.
So good. I cry every time.
He just kept singing. All things. All
And we had to keep walking by him because like we would walk by him and look at him and then drop the flower in the grave. And so we were all, and then we would all just like try not to make eye contact with each other because we were all just like.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a funeral procession, so it's not like laughter should be happening. But
You never had the Saturday because I was like whispered in his ear. I was the last one, and he was like, because John never makes mistakes, but when he does, they're huge because he's Superman. So if Superman is Superman, and
love you, John.
The most consistent performer, but when he would mess up, it would be like, oh, there's a glitch in the Matrix, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, amazing analysis. Okay, Lauren, were you there the night of the Tony Awards? Did you get to perform at the Tonys?
Of course.
And how amazing was that?
It was amazing. I remember looking over to Lilli because it was a medley that we did, right? So we started with Mama Who Bore Me. And I remember us walking out and I stood next to Lilli Cooper and the words that came out of my mouth were holy shit right before we started singing. And it was insane. It was amazing to look out into Radio City and to see all of those people there. But also everything that had happened to us in the course of about a year and a half was completely bonkers. So it was sort of like we were this little show that could, and we believed in ourselves, but you never really know what's actually going to happen. So to be there under those circumstances with everything that happened, it was pretty unbelievable. Yeah. I was like, holy shit. Okay. All right, we're going to go do this now.
Rem?
I knew because so they did the Best Supporting Actor really early in the broadcast. And I think we all knew that when John Gallagher Jr. won, we were like, oh my God, this night is going to be insane.
And it was.
And it was.
More practical thing. Did a chair ever break on stage? There was a lot of standing and slamming chairs.
No,
Anybody?
I don't think so.
No, actually.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
Gerard broke like 20 chairs.
Oh,
Yeah,
Gerard broke like 20 chairs.
That's like off
Gerard Canonico. Yeah.
When?
He was angry?
The chair of rock. Yeah, it was his he'd stomp on the chair all the time. Yeah. Yeah, they went through like 10 chairs.
Our covers were on stage performers as well, and we had this thing where the audience would sit on stage, and then there would be a roll of the chair of rock. And so Krista and Gerard and Robbie Hager and all these wonderful Jen Damiano, they all were in the chair of rock. And so Gerard literally would break his own chair on a weekly basis.
But he'd have to sit in the broken chair for the rest of the show because they didn't have a spare. Yeah.
It's like his punishment.
Yeah.
His punishment.
So off Broadway, John Gallagher Jr. would come through a chair at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was crazy because one night, wasn't somebody like leaning on the chair?
Yeah, somebody was fully leaning.
Yeah, it's like when he was coming out of the grate.
He's like,
chair on stage.
Yeah. He would like wiggle. He would wiggle his body through the chair, and somebody was leaning on the chair and didn't realize what was going on. And he was trying to like bust it up and come out of the chair. And it wound up being probably way creepier than it meant to be because it was like, what is going on?
What is going on?
And he's crawling through the chair.
Busting out of Moritz's grave right now.
Yeah, he looked like the girl from The Ring coming out of the chair. It was very creepy.
He really did.
Or the final scene in Carrie. Okay, yes. I guess the final question is, with that audience constantly sitting on stage, any bizarre audience interaction that you guys had? Uh-oh. Yes? Wow, it's a lot of drinking.
We had a lot of drunk people.
A lot of what?
Drunk people.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of drunk people, but I mean, what about the audience?
I got a room.
I think for the most part, people were pretty much, I don't know if it was shame, but they were pretty behaved, I feel like, for the most part.
For the most part.
I know that.
Yeah, I just think for the most part on that one, I mean, because our fans were very dedicated and they would know where we would sit throughout the show because we would sit amongst them. So a lot of times they would try to get a rise out of us because they knew us and we developed relationships. But when we were on stage, it was serious, so we were not going to be like, hey, and I definitely got, Brian, did we not get room keys thrown at us during Touch Me? Like when we were
That is quite possible. I don't,
Wait, what?
I think so. It was like I thought it was a mistake, but it was like a hotel room key, and it passed out. They were hammered.
I know that every time my mom sat on stage, she would poke me. Hi, Mom. I know she's watching this.
Sweet.
I was going to say, I can't remember whether it was Remy or Lilli, but I remember very specifically so after Left Behind, we would those of us that weren't Jonathan Groff would sit down on the steps in the front of the stage. We were as close as possible to the audience there. And there was this one time where there was this dude who was like fully dressed in leather with like leather gloves on and everything. He was sitting in one of those front row seats, and I can't remember whether it was you, Remy, or whether it was Lilli, but he legitimately reached out to touch hands with one of you. Maybe it wasn't you, Remy. Maybe it was Lilli. But it 100% happened, and it was very, very odd. And it was like, I don't know. And he was like some older gentleman, fully dressed in leather with like leather driving gloves on. And he reached out to touch, like grab the hand of one of the cast members sitting in front. And I think must have been Lilli, if you don't remember it, Remy.
Yeah,
but it was odd. It was like we were sitting there, and everyone's like, because we can see we're past the point. We're sitting in the front, so there's no light glare. We can really see everyone and everything, right? And there's this leather dude reaching out to touch one of the young girls in the cast. I was like, no, that's not how you do that. That's not how you do. That's not good. That's not great.
That's called Match.com. Okay, so before we go, BCJ, one of the people up here would like you to do your Michael Cerveris impression. Maybe?
Yeah. I'm Michael Cerveris. That's just kind of how I did it.
Well,
that's how we did it from Sweeney Todd. It was from Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd right before it with Eugene O'Neill.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd was open.
I'm Michael Cerveris.
Okay, you guys, you're amazing. We need to have a double reunion, so I'm going to bring you all back because there's too many other stories that we haven't done yet. I'm first going to bring on the doctor. Skylar, I need to bring you back because you're actually going to be singing. So, Skylar, you're going to come back. You clowns, I got to get rid of, or else the platform is going to cut. Remy, you got to stop drinking. It's the first step is moving on the platform. Second step, all right, we'll talk about, I'll send you an AA meeting. All right, okay, great. You guys, amazing hanging out with you. You're all going to be back. Bye, Rams. Bye, Laura. Bye, Phoebes. Skylar, I'll bring you back to sing after this. BCJ. Hey, bye, BCJ. Hey, listen, everybody listening, I forgot to say this. Right now, we actually have a matching grant. So someone just said, how do you donate? You go to starsinthehouse.com, and if we get up to $1,000, Catherine Hicks, who owns a Focus Design studio, she's going to match $1,000. So if we can get some donations up to at least $1,000 tonight. Oh, thank you, James. Hold that microphone. Thanks, honey. Hold on. I got to
No one can look the waist down because...
We already saw when you walked down the stairs.
Okay. You got that, and you said about the grant, right?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me? I can. Dr. LaPoo, can you hear me? I'm going to assume that you can. Okay. So anyway, we have a matching grant. So please get the donations up to $1,000, and then we'll get a matching grant from Catherine Hicks. She owns a Focus Design studio. You go to, hi, Mandy, starsinthehouse.com. Anyway, listen, we got to get some medical advice for you kids, and then we're going to bring on the rest of the cast. This is the chief medical correspondent from CBS News, Dr. John LaPook. Hey.
Hi, I dressed up.
You look great.
I was doing something else. What?
I was saying you look too nice. Did you see Spring Awakening when it was on Broadway?
Well, there's a funny story about Spring Awakening now that you asked. We went with Daniel, my son, who was, I don't know, very, very young, so young that at a certain point he got so embarrassed that we had to go.
Oh, that's the kind of show you cannot see with your parents. Was it perhaps from the nudity of Jonathan Groff? What? So inappropriate.
Or it was some poignant part. Well, I have two things I want to talk about. One is it's starting to seem that, well, some good news. There are some fewer admissions, slightly fewer admissions to hospitals. Still, they're filled. I mean, the intensive care unit where I am at NYU Langone is filled,
Yes.
And it's amazing what people are doing over there. I mean, everybody from doctors and nurses, the people sweeping the floor, the people doing the linens, the ward clerks, the respiratory therapists, the physical therapists.
A lot of bravery.
It's really, it's very impressive. But, for people out there, there's something that's happening right now that worries me, which is I think what's happening to the heart attacks? What's happening to the urinary tract infections that can become serious? What's happening to appendicitis? And I think that people are afraid to come into hospitals. And I'd like to say to people, if you're having symptoms, don't assume that the answer is going to be stay home, but that you can't go to a hospital. You can go to a hospital safely. If people are waiting for you, if there's the right precautions taken. I know it's scary to go, but if you're having chest pain, if you're having shortness of breath, if you're wheezing, if you're having a urinary tract infection and suddenly you have a kidney, you can get a kidney, and people can die of infections. So I don't want people to be at home afraid to come in and get help.
Well, Laura Bundy had to go to the hospital because of the COVID-19, but she did say it was extremely safe. And she said it actually wasn't crowded where she was. So it's sort of two different pieces of news. Is some hospitals are not so crazily crowded, but also shouldn't die from something else because you're too scared to go. They have a lot of protections at hospitals right now. They're being very, very careful.
Yeah, no, they are. I mean, of course, there's nothing 100%, but they're being very, very careful.
Yeah.
We think we know how it spreads. There are precautions you can take. And there's this whole, medicine thing that for thousands of years we keep getting, it's a very humbling profession, medicine. There's ups and downs, believe me. But there are some things we can do. So we don't want people to just stay at home with this horrible strep throat and end up getting a complication. I would love you to bring back some of the kids because this is the age group. I want to ask them some questions.
All right, they're not quite kids anymore, but we're going to pretend that.
Well, how old are they? What's the age group?
I would say they're probably around 30 at this point, but they were, all right. So I'll bring in here Skylar.
With kids.
Oh, Skylar's gone. Skylar, you play a kid, but
yeah.
Well, the people actually I know whether it's Gen X or millennials or, people who are 20 to 35. Are you 20 to 35? Hi.
Yes, we're 20.
20, 35. All right. So am I.
Okay.
Go on.
Here's what I'm interested in. What has this been like for you? Because, of course, we all saw the video of the guy at spring break who was saying, I'm not stopping doing my spring break because I've been preparing this for weeks. And, we were all idiots when we were 18 years old. So I'm not criticizing him, and he actually apologized for it. But among your friends, among your peers, has there been a shift in your appreciation of what's it been like? I know it's been what it's been like for my peers. What's it been like for you guys and your peers?
I just personally been trying to encourage people to stay home. I mean, we're in a place where if you're thinking ahead and you understand the data and what's going on, that it still hasn't quite peaked yet. And we have to take action before the peak hits in order to eventually make it go downward. So I've just been encouraging people to stay safe, stay home. I would love to be in New York right now with my mom and dad. I wish so badly, but what I would have to enter and exit through to get there would just put them at risk. And so even seeing and hugging my own mother on her birthday, we sacrificed this year because it's keeping people alive.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough here. I'm interested in, and Jonathan, I'm interested. I'm another Jonathan. I'm interested in, as I'm talking with you and I'm hearing how mature you're sounding, I'm realizing there's a reason for that because it slapped you in the face. March 12th, Broadway closed. So there was no hiding it from you. And you guys have been professionals from a very young age. So I think you've probably had to grow up and you're probably emotionally more intelligent than a lot of people your same age. But Jonathan, what's it been like for you? Except for John, completely.
We were doing this at 18. That's why we were doing that. We were working at 18.
So, have you noticed I'm just interested whether there's been a shift. How can I ask you how old you are?
I'm 35.
Okay. So that means you were 16 when 9/11 happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder whether how that prepared you for this because I went through I'm a lot older than you are. But I grew up in the 60s and the worst thing that happened was John Kennedy getting assassinated when I was like 10 years old. That was terrible. I remember the Cuban Missile Crisis, which was really scary. But then there were the assassinations. So, I felt like as I was growing up, the world was really in turmoil. And then there was a long period which actually there weren't these cataclysms. There were always terrible events happening in the world. But I wonder for you, do you have a sense of the world that it's just not a safe place that, you have things like 9/11 happening or are you able to recalibrate?
It's funny. I feel like for some people in the younger generation, some people are taking it seriously, some people are not. And then I don't think it's a generational specific problem in that a lot of my friends' parents aren't taking it seriously as well. Yeah. So having, to force. My parents actually are taking it seriously because they had close friends of theirs that passed away a couple of weeks ago, people that they knew. And I think that regardless of the generation, I think that probably the most affecting thing is personal connection. I think that's the case with any issue. So I think probably young people that have experienced it on a personal level are feeling it in a more real way. And the same thing with probably every generation. From my own experience today, I just spoke with my mom through the glass of my front door because we're afraid of passing it back and forth to each other. So in my personal case, I'm taking it incredibly seriously. I came to Pennsylvania from New York City with my friend Katie. We quarantined for 14 days before going to the grocery store. We had our groceries delivered before then. And my parents are taking it very seriously. We're staying 6 feet apart. We've all got masks and gloves. And I mean, this is a plug, but my mom was speaking through the glass today because she got me all this stuff to donate to anyone who's gonna like auction off. I got all the Spring Awakening swag.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So whoever wants it, I'm gonna sign it all and spray it down with alcohol and send it to whoever wants it. I have a CD, a script, a picture of me and Leah, a poster,
That's great.
and this bear.
Oh, Broadway Bear.
No, this is not a time for despair.
No,
You
this
said
bear.
despair. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood.
Okay,
No.
Jonathan, we're gonna talk about the auction. Dr. LaPook, you're hilarious. Okay, Dr. LaPook, we're bringing you back at the end. Is Ash gonna be here tonight?
No, Ash is elsewhere.
Our little doggy. All right, we're gonna bring you back to say goodbye. You're always great. Someone just wrote, Dr. LaPook is the only person I trust in the media. It's sweeping, but I like it. Thank you, Dr. LaPook. You're gonna come back. We love you. I'm gonna bring on a little Gideon Glick action. Hi, kids.
Hi, guys.
Cuties.
And I just want you to see that Jonathan dressed up by wearing a baseball cap and a beautiful T-shirt.
It's a sweater.
Ooh, look at your hair.
I'd like to
Ooh,
counteract
nice.
that with the stunningness of Lilli Cooper. Now, this is called during my show. Thank you, Lilli Cooper. There was
Am I here?
yes.
Can you hear
this
me?
Yes, all the above. Can you hear us?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. And
What's
finally,
up,
we have somebody, I don't know if he's been quarantined for 4 months, that he's grown his beard, or this is just his new look. Mr. John Gallagher quarantine.
Hey!
What is happening?
I'd like to say that this is just because of the quarantine, but it's been going since the last job I had, which was November. So this has just been my unemployment look that's now really been a little exacerbated and accelerated by the quarantine.
Okay, before I forget, Jonathan Groff, I know you're so respectful, but get your cell phone. I just sent you a batch of donations, please, for you to read. I just texted you. So these are just some of the, if you donate, you can get your donation read by the sultry, soothing voice of Jonathan Groff and that beautiful lace front that he has on. Look how, right? You can't even-
This lace.
What?
Also, I have a sty on my eye, just to point it out.
You know what? It works.
Thank you. Wait, should I read these aloud?
Yes, please.
We've got Anne from Connecticut, $50.
Hey now.
Daniel from New Jersey, $75. Elizabeth from Pennsylvania, that's where I'm at, $25. Stephanie from Connecticut, $50. David from Louisiana, $50. Kate from New Jersey, $25. Rebecca from New York, $50. Joanna from Virginia, $15. Anita from California, $50. And Nancy from Florida, $50. That's incredible.
Thank you, guys. Don't forget, if we get up at least to 1,000, we're going to get that doubled. Okay, so wait, before we get into the real chitter chatter, we got to have some music. That's why we have a lot of you here. So it is Pesach, Skylar. I assume you're going to sing a song from Yisrael?
Yes, I'm going to be doing the Geshpucha from the musical Yebba Yebba. No, this is no. I don't even know. No, this is a new ditty that I learned for this special occasion. This is my favorite song to do and perform, and I love it so much. And it's called "Touch Me."
Can I say something real quick before
Yes,
you
Lilli,
do?
you're great.
Oh, thank you. I have a ring light in front of me. It's for my self-tapes. It's the first time I put on makeup in like 2 weeks, so I'm really glad that you said it.
You look gorgeous. You look great.
Skylar does really love to sing the song. In fact, I've received several renditions of him singing along to his own cast recording of himself. So he wasn't lying when he said that.
I take the fifth on that.
We're gonna discuss that post song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the screen. I'll leave you to sing to your friends. So guys, start making out.
Well, this is so actually amazing. It's kind of weird that the first 3 solos are right. Also, do you guys remember when both Johns cracked up during this?
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do.
I won't sing the whole thing like it, but it actually sounded like where I go. Because they got the giggles.
Why?
Anyway.
Do you remember the scene beforehand?
Yeah, what's happening? Okay. Where I go.
Sorry, Seth.
Yes.
When I go there, no more memory anymore. I'll be drifting on some ship. The wind that whispers of the distance to shore. Where I go, when I go there, no more listening anymore. Only hymns upon your lips, a mystic wisdom rising within to show. Oh, touch me, just like that, and that, oh yeah, now that's heaven, now that I like God, that's so nice, now the word down where the figs lie. Oh my God, you guys can do the dialogue? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, touch me, touch me. Tell me please, all is forgiven. Consume my wine, consume my mind. Tell me how touch me, oh, just try it. Now there that seed, oh God, that's heaven, touch me. I love you right, I love you right. You wander down where the streams cry, touch me. Oh, 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 oh,
Love you.
Oh my God, Skylar.
You've improved.
Where the wind sounds. Reading student, go.
Huge miss. Booked it. You booked the job.
Skylar, that
Yes.
was great.
Thank
you had
you.
the most appropriate, most exciting comment. Let me just try to find it. It was very exciting. By the way, Catherine Gallagher's here. Hey.
We love Gallagher.
Hey, Catherine. But I just got so excited. Oh, I wish I could find it. Basically, Skylar, what was complimented about that song was your vibrato.
Hey, and we talked about that.
What do you have to say about that?
That's what gives us crap about not using vibrato during Spring Awakening, and how we were forbidden from actually using vibrato. So I told him I would throw some flutter in there for him.
Thank you, Skylar.
Say hi to Meryl, please. Can you say hi to Meryl Lipstein, my mother?
Mrs. Lipstein, hi, Meryl.
She's a big
I know
fan.
I was going to make a surprise appearance yesterday on Zoom for the whole but I just couldn't time it out. So, Meryl, thank you. Son is very, very talented. You should be stepping nachas, as we say.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Where was I? Hey, Gideon, I haven't even spoken to you at all. What's up? Were you doing Little Shop when Off-Broadway shut down, or had it transitioned yet?
I was. We did not transition. We were halfway through my last week.
Oh man. So were you just like the robot?
What do you mean?
Meaning you were about to Jonathan, don't make that face. Meaning you were like, I'm about to go on stage. Oh wait, it's canceled, my arm.
No, so I think we had the sense that on Wednesday when that article came out that the ushers tested positive, we kind of had this sense that my husband's also a doctor, so I was kind of being the crazy one in the dressing room, being like, guys, we're gonna shut down. And so we kind of knew that that performance was the last one. And I'll say it was wild. It kind of felt like actually, Groff, you were there the night before, right?
Mm-hmm.
God, time is
Jonathan, you were in the audience annoyingly lip syncing every single line and lyric.
He was the biggest cheerer in that audience.
How weird was it, Jonathan, to watch the show that you had just done?
It was incredible. Gideon was incredible. And it was so great. I was so joyful. I laughed and cried so hard. It was great.
Okay.
I can attest that they were both amazing because I saw both of them.
Lils, you're so supportive.
Thanks,
Tom Gallagher. So it's the beard and the lighting. Are you in a bunker or is this a hostage situation?
Yes, both.
You look great.
Wait, is it dark? Is it? I was like, is it dark where I am?
It's a little dark.
The dark I know well. I'm going to turn my light.
Thank you, John.
Oh, that's much better.
Come on now, how's that?
I'm going to go back to happier times. Look how nice and bright and youthful we look.
Oh, yeah.
See, it's a beard, but it's nicely trimmed. By the way, what was that? Was that Leading Men of Broadway? What was that?
That was
no, but
Broadway Stands Up for Freedom, I think. That was the
Yes.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Yeah.
That was fun for the NYCLU.
Yes, exactly.
So Lilli Cooper, what's your favorite memory of doing Spring Awakening besides Jonathan forgetting all the lyrics?
That was a good one. I'd say my favorite memory, one of the really good ones for me was I was in high school at the time, and all of the girls got to perform at the Drama Desk Awards, and we performed at my high school. So I went to LaGuardia, the Performing Arts High School in New York City. And so one of the most surreal moments for me was performing in my Broadway show at my high school, which were like the two lives that I was concurrently living. And I got to bring everybody backstage to my locker and to my classrooms. And a lot of cool people were there, and we were all babies, and it was really surreal. And I'll never forget that one. That was pretty cool.
What about JG Jr.? What's your fave memory?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't think I have any. It honestly is such a blur to me. I was today kind of racking my brain for like some great tidbits and some stories that I could tell. But the whole thing, honestly, at this point in my life, I don't know if it speaks to some kind of issue with my brain, but it's all kind of one giant swirl of kind of wild fun and weird mood swings and energy. But the thing I really just think of the most is the camaraderie, was being part of something that, we were so young, and when we got involved in it, it was, here you are, you're going to go do an off-Broadway show at a 200-seat theater. And then the next year and a half, everybody's life changed, and we were suddenly the toast of the town on Broadway. It was so overwhelming and so much to process. But I just remember that feeling of going out on stage and feeling like, I'm not a sports guy. I never played sports. It's why I ended up in the theater. But
I'm a big sports guy.
I remember being like, this must be like what it feels like to go out and your teammates have your back, like every time we walked out on stage. I was like, this must be what sports is like.
Those moments before places were actually some of the most fondest moments. We would,
so great.
Since our show had, was dark at times, obviously, we were crazy right before we would go on. We would be so jovial and silly and constant jokes, and then get super serious as a heart attack the second the red light went off. And one of my fondest memories of you, Gallagher, was actually all the time, since Moritz's track kind of like is a little bit, goes away in and out in the second act. I just love you lingering with that crazy hair and just being like, what's up, guys? Eating Sour Patch Kids like outside my dressing room.
Oh yeah, I ate a lot of junk food once my character committed suicide. I was like, now it's junk food time.
Wait, spoiler alert!
What? Oh, come on, if you're watching this. Hey, by the way, Seth, can you see this?
Oh my God, that's us. That was Leading Man, right?
Yeah.
How do you wait? Are you a stalker? Why do you have that on your phone?
It's the background in my phone. It's the background of my phone.
All
no,
right.
I just Googled it.
I'm a little creeped out. Okay. Anyway, so
Oh my God. Dramatic.
so not true. Okay, wait. We have to go back. Jonathan and John Gallagher. Of course, you've got to tell the classic story that I love to talk about, but now I have photographic proof. Please let's talk about the night before your final performance when you forced me to commit a crime and lie to your stage doorman. So Jonathan and Gallagher, please, I don't know, by the way, why is this my position? Why am I so demure? But let's talk about it. Well, I'll start it. I went to go see the show. I want to see the cast before they left. I went up to go visit Groff and Leah Michelle. I was hanging out in the dressing room. Little did I know you were going to suck me into your sick plan. Go.
So in honor of John's last performance, Leah and John and I decided that we were going to sleep overnight in the theater, but it was illegal to be in the theater after they had shut out the lights and the security guard had left. So Leah and I had put this, like, fabric over my dressing room counter where Leah, I can't believe we did this, where Leah and John and I were going to hide. And so when the security guard came around to check all the rooms, we would be hidden. He would think we were gone. But we hadn't quite thought through how we were going to get the keys to our dressing room back to the stage doorman without him knowing we hadn't left the theater. Yeah.
I think he knew.
Oh,
I think
no,
he
he did not. He
No?
did not. So I was forced with my husband, James. We had to go down to the stage doorman. We're like, here's the keys to the dressing room. And he was like, where's Jonathan and Leah? And we're like, they left. And he's like, they did? I'm like, you didn't see them leave. I'm like, by the way, so panicked. I don't know why, because it's so not a crime. I was like sweating, like, you didn't see them leave. And he's like, oh, that's so weird. So I hand the keys. Then, of course, I open the door, and it's all the Jonathan Groff and Leah Michelle fans, whose, of course, face falls when they see the horrible older Jew. I'm like, I know, you're not interested. I get it. So I had to leave those fans. And by the way, just so you know, this is literally what it looked like. This is those two clowns hiding, and this is me.
Oh my God. And where's John in that picture, I wonder?
Where was I?
You weren't there yet. So then, what was it like to sleep in a rat-infested, roach-ridden theater overnight?
We can never tell.
Board.
What did you guys do?
Spooky.
Wait a minute.
They didn't even tell us. I don't know what happened.
What did we do?
Where did you sleep? On the stage in one of those stupid chairs?
They had nice dressing rooms.
Not from what I saw.
I think I fell asleep on the floor of somebody's dressing room.
I've never seen less information given to your accomplice. Rude.
I'm looking to Jonathan to see how much I should really divulge.
Well, so far nothing. You've divulged nothing. So maybe something would help.
Should we divulge? I mean, divulge whatever you want.
Yeah, I seem to remember Leah bringing like a bottle of scotch in. I think there was some we drank some scotch, and I think we had a great plan to watch like some scary movies, but we didn't really get around to it because we were kind of running around the theater doing as much exploring as we could.
I remember it being very. We carved our names in the theater. They're still there. Yeah, we did a bunch of sort of Leah's very ritualistic, so we did a lot of ritualistic things. And one of the things we did that's actually really sweet is we pricked our fingers.
You sacrifice a virgin? What happened? What's going on?
We pricked our fingers and put our blood-stained fingerprints on a piece of paper with our names on them that we had framed. And we sent it to Christine Jones, who was the set designer, and she put that framed picture of our blood-stained fingerprints on the set of the tour of Spring Awakening.
Wow. So you guys could put it on your resume?
Yeah, it's the first thing on my resume.
I was in it. I mean, I was literally in it.
Okay, we're going to move on.
Yeah. Invite us.
I didn't know it was going to go there. Lilli Cooper, I manipulated you into singing something. What did you finally decide to haul out for us? We got to hear that fierce voice.
Manipulated is probably the best word that you could use. Because I can't tell you. I don't know. Does anybody else feel like hyper anxiety about performing right now? Like, I am so stressed out. I texted Seth so many times being like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do.
Here's the deal. It's like, people are donating, and it's like people tune into the show to relax themselves and to distract themselves from what's going on. So just like hearing you do music is going to put people in a good mood. So that's sort of the way to think about it, that you're doing a service. Plus, I need to hear some high belting and vibrato. High belting and vibrato. Okay, I'm going to relieve myself so your friends will watch you.
I'm the only one wearing earphones. My earbuds are like going in and out, and I feel like that dumb person that's like, "Does my sound working? I can't tell if it is." So am I good?
It's good. I can hear you. Great.
I'm gonna sing. And Seth suggested my go-to audition song, and so I'm gonna sing my go-to audition song, which I should give a shout out to Leah because she actually introduced this song to me as a great audition song. She probably doesn't have to audition for anything anymore, so she doesn't have to be mad at me for using it. And it's very, I think, apropos for being in quarantine. I'm playing a karaoke track on YouTube. I hear the ticking of the clock. I'm lying here, the room's pitch dark. I wonder where you are tonight. No answer on the telephone. And the night goes by so very slow. Oh, I hope that it won't end though. Alone. Till now, I always got my own. Until I met you. And now it chills me to the bone. How do I get you alone? How do I get you alone? You don't know how long I have wanted to touch your lips and hold you tight. You don't know how long I have waited, and I was gonna tell you tonight. But the secret is still my own, and my love for you is still unknown. Alone. Instrumental break. Till now, I always got on my own. I never really cared until I met you. And now it chills me to the bone. How can you love? How can you love? This is the real instrumental break. How do I get your love? How do I get your love?
Okay.
My shoe at you.
Okay, for someone shy, that was the most amazing. I don't know what to sing. The most amazing.
Upper third.
F sharp.
If anyone's wondering why Lilli hasn't gotten off Broadway since we did Spring Awakening, that's because that's her audition.
Okay, so kids, I did some research. What I sort of like doing for people is saying that you did something 8 times a week, but do you still remember it? So, John Gallagher Jr. Does this sound familiar to you?
That's what printed.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Hi, Groff.
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Corbett.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay, well, here's the monologue. Let's see what you remember.
Okay.
This from Rabbit Hole.
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Corbett, something about somebody that I've been talking to told me it would be a good idea to reach out to you and say what's on my mind, something to that effect. A lot of paraphrasing.
No, I didn't ask for a summation of the monologue. An audience can pay for. I asked you for the lines you did 8 times a week. I wanted to send you my condolences.
That sounds more like it. Yeah.
Gallagher, you're out.
Oh no! I hope David Lindsay Bear isn't watching this.
Sorry, Gideon Glick. Now you were Seymour 8 times a week. However, that means you should have memorized some other people's songs too. I'm his December bride. Take it.
He's father. He knows best. I cook like Betty Crocker.
Okay, Gideon. Nope. You're out. That was from Little Shop. I'm proud of you. Skylar.
Yes.
You starred in this.
Did I?
How to apply for a job.
How to advance from the mailroom. How to sit down at a desk. How to dictate memorandums. Is it that one? My pitch was
Never
off.
apologize at an audition. I want you to focus and.
Okay.
By the way, it's not an audition, but actually, Skylar, excellent so far.
Thank you.
Lilli, don't worry. All I need you to do, Lilli, you did the Australian tour of Wicked, didn't you?
I also did it on Broadway, but whatever.
Jonathan, settle down, because yours is going to be hard. My point is this.
Oh my God.
I know you know the songs from Wicked, but now I need to hear them with an actual clear and proper Australian accent.
Done.
Did that really just happen? Have I actually understood this weird cork I've tried to suppress or hide? Is it talent that could Mate, the wizard. Upon my good.
By the way, Angela Lansbury was so good.
Lilli, I love that you had the accent and you actually had the staging, which is this. Okay, so I need to. This is a little bit more personal. So unfortunately, I need to focus with Jonathan for just a moment. So I'm gonna just say goodbye to you other people for just a couple of minutes. So you're all gonna be back at some point. Don't worry, Skylar, you'll be back. Lilli, dear, you're gonna be back. Gideon, dear, you're gonna be back. Okay, so Jonathan, apparently you're a big fan of a certain 2-time Tony Award winner. We get it. Sutton Foster. So, do you remember when I gave you the Sutton Foster quiz on SiriusXM Radio?
I do.
Okay, so remember every time. What'd you say?
I just got nervous.
Oh, don't worry about it, dear.
Yeah.
But anyway, every time you were right, I recorded Sutton's voice being like, "You are correct. You are wrong."
You are correct. Yeah.
I have the same thing. I have the recording right here. So every time you're right, I'm gonna click this. Every time you're wrong, it's not quite a recording. Here we go. Okay, so.
Wait, there it is. Hi. I really dressed up for you. Hi. Oh, I can't get the computer up. Hi, guys. How's it going?
Oh, thank you for your birthday message, Sutton.
Oh, my God.
So sweet.
How's it going?
We're here. We're not here for that.
Oh.
All right, here we go.
You look
Sutton
great.
Foster quiz. Jonathan, what was the name of the children's theater Sutton performed in?
The Augusta Players.
That is correct. That's one of them.
That wasn't what I was referring to.
There's
Isn't that
another
where you were, Annie?
Another one that's like a sandwich.
Yeah.
Peanut butter players?
Yes, you are correct.
Wait a minute. What's with the pool shark? I don't get it. Peanut butter players. Okay.
It's because I can see the inside of Sutton's mind sometimes.
What was the name of the play where Sutton played a dominatrix?
Oh my God.
You have.
One word. It's one word. Wait, don't tell me. It was at Second Stage.
Mm-hmm.
It was Ari Grainer.
It's a lot of detail.
Callaway.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, does it start with an S?
No, look at her miming.
Oh, it starts with a T?
But it's one word?
Yeah.
What's the second letter? I will allow a second letter.
No, I don't want to. Don't tell me the second letter.
Okay, hold on.
I gotta do this recall. I was in London, and so I didn't see it. It was like the one thing I haven't seen.
I'm trying to bring you back. Yes.
Oh my God, that worked. Wait. Trust.
Hey, you are correct.
What were the two roles Sutton Foster played in Annie?
Oh,
The two roles I played in Annie.
so easy. Well, she was Annie when she was a kid. Is that what you're asking? Okay, and then the Star to Be, which if you haven't, those of you watching at home, if you have not YouTubed Sutton Foster Star to Be, I wouldn't be lying if I said I watched it 2 weeks ago.
It's terrifying, but you are correct. I also played the dog catcher, which I think is very important and not well known. I know. I was one of the dog catchers. Yes, I had a very important cross.
And you were like a maid. I feel like there's a
maid as well.
Maid like clapping or something. Yeah.
I meant the featured roles, dear.
Oh, sorry.
Name the two national tours that Sutton Foster did.
Sutton.
The two national tours that Sutton Foster did.
Will Rogers Follies in Greece.
You are correct, but I did more than that. I did Les Mis too.
And Les Mis.
You know what, Sutton? I didn't ask for your lip. But Jonathan, weirdly, those are the two I was thinking of. That's so weird that we.
I remember Sutton. I remember you talking about having played Eponine on tour, and then you got offered Eponine, and then you got the understudy for Millie, and you were like, I know this is crazy, but I'm taking the understudy for Millie.
Yeah.
I love that. And you did that because you wanted to be part of a new musical. You wanted to create a new show, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to, I don't know. It was like a trust your gut situation. And I just wanted to kind of keep doing something new. And like, I don't know. Everyone around me thought I was crazy, but it all worked out.
It worked out for you, dear.
So.
And the final question, Jonathan, please sing Sutton Foster's solo in the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Oh my God. I couldn't even do that. Oh, I could probably do it. Wait.
I'm going to have to cut to Sutton. I don't know it.
It's the one in Madame Guillotine?
It's in the Scarlet Pimpernel, and you're singing about what your sister says.
Oh, no, I don't remember that. I know, I sort of remember the one in Madame Guillotine. I know I sing something, be clear, pretty dear, in a year you will be pretty dust. That's all I remember in Madame Guillotine. What do I sing in Scarlet Pimpernel? I forgot. A really big hat. It was like a penis. It was like a really tall hat.
This is a G-rated show.
Okay.
Here's the song.
Me sister says his breath is sweeter than an Irish rose. I'm sure I'd fall in love if he would cross my path.
Tony Award.
Dude.
Wait, she's still hold on. Everything went out.
She's frozen.
No. Was I in a horrible position?
Wait, that was you though, right? Am I correct?
That was me. Yeah.
Me
sister thinks his breath is sweeter than an Irish rose. I'm sure we'd fall in love if he would cross my path. Yeah.
Tony Award. All right. In conclusion, you know what, Sutton? I'm going to text you the second batch of donations. Is your phone there? And you can read. I'd like you to read the nice people that have been donating tonight. Hold on. So everyone can hear all the nice people that have donated. Read them out loud if you would.
Oh, there you are. Okay. All right. Cynthia from California donated $200.
Oh my God.
Ruby from New York, $100. Jeffrey from Massachusetts, $50. Anthony from New York, $100. Tamar from New York, $50. Kimberly from Indiana, $75. Thomas from California, $100. Lacey from California, $50. Liz from Maryland, $100. Kate from Minnesota, $100. And Melanie from Michigan, $100. That's awesome.
So I'm going to bring Sutton. I want to do a whole reunion of your younger show. So I'd like that to happen, please. Okay. And just by the way, Jonathan, I brought her in pretty early and I texted her. I said, I'm sorry you're waiting so long. And she said, I'm loving watching. So just, you know.
I know. Tell everybody I said hi. Spring Awakening is one of my favorite shows of all time. And so it was really nice to see all you guys. And
Sutton.
Tell everybody I said hey.
I remember when you came off Broadway, Sutton also sent us bagels to the theater every Saturday during preview.
I did.
So nice.
I was such a fan of the show, and I had like a tiny small investment in the show too because I loved it so much. I was like, I saw it off Broadway and like lost my mind, and I ran up to Tom Hulse and was like, "Can I be a part of this in some way?" And he said yes. So, and then I sent everybody bagels. I was like, "Hi, Skylar. Hi, John. Hi, Gideon, everybody."
Oh well, Lily's actually frozen. All right. Well, Lily's frozen. All right. So, Sadala, you're going to come back with Yunga. I love how casual you are.
How casual? I've been in camp for 4 weeks.
The arm position. All right. Thank you. And the Caroline of Greece. All right. We'll talk about it later. Bye, Buddy. Bye. Adorable. Lily is still frozen, unfortunately, but she's frozen as her headshot. Look. Oh, you can't even see it. She's really frozen like this. Her headshot. Oh, yeah. Alive. Hi, Lils. All right, so guys, I had the best time. By the way, everyone's giving you the answer, Jonathan. It's trust, but too little, too late. Thank you, guys.
I got there kind of in the end with a little help.
All right, so we got to just close with a final song. John Gallagher, your kidnappers gave you at least one guitar, right?
Yes.
So a glass of water and a guitar. So
glass of water and guitar is all I'm allowed.
I would love that. And then we'll peace out. Guys, you're allowed to keep donating. Starsinthehouse.com. Don't forget, and we're also getting that matching donation tonight. I want to just give her a shout out one more time because we very rarely get matching donations. It's very kind. It is it's Catherine Hicks. She owns a Focus Design Studio. So thank you for that. All right, John Gallagher, I can't wait. And are you gonna do Alone by Heart? Because that's really rude. All right, here we go.
No, I'm gonna sing a song by my favorite songwriter, probably in the world. Passed away a couple of days ago. His name is John Prine, who's 73 and cancer survivor. And he caught COVID-19 and sadly succumbed to it. And he wrote some of the best songs I think ever written. He never wrote a musical. He didn't have to because every song he wrote was a mini musical, including this one, which I think is probably one of his best. It's called Angel from Montgomery. I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man was another child that's grown old. But if dreams were lightning, thunder desire, this old house would have burnt down a long time ago. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Now when I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. Weren't much to look at, just a free rambling man. Oh, but that was a long time, and no matter how I try, the years that just go by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Well, there's flies in the kitchen. I can hear them, they're buzzing. And I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening, and have nothing to say? Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. The great John Prine.
So pretty.
Pretty song.
John, my favorite is the devastating but old folks just grow lonely.
Oh, hello in there. Killer.
Hello in there, yeah.
Oh, it's just you can barely listen to that song. It's just
Brady Carmello just did a tribute with that song.
Yeah, she was really close with him. They were buddies. I never got to meet him, but I saw him a lot when I was a kid. My dad saw him in the early days when he was just getting out there on the road as a songwriter. He was my dad's hero. So my dad played all those records for me when I was a kid.
It's so beautiful. And by the way, that song "Hello" in there, it's about old people being alone, and that's one of the reasons why I brought Sutton. It's so important, everybody watching, all of you guys, that we really reach out. Dr. John LaPook says 3 people a day you've got to reach out to. Even if you don't need it, then other people might need it. Really make the effort because we're all so isolated right now. And that's why people are also liking this show because they get to see people come together. So try to make a call. Lilli, I love that you have your dog out. We do that at the very end of the show. My dog is so first I'm gonna do the closing credits and I'll come say goodbye. So hold on. Jack Platnick made me closing credits. I gotta show where the hell are they? Oh, there they are. Once I meet the wizard. It's Australian. Blind.
And I meet the wizard.
Dude, that really just happened. I don't even know how to do Australian. Shrimp on the bobby. Anybody? All right, I shouldn't accompany this. But I'll play some lists. I can't. You guys, thank you. That was so much fun. And I guess see you guys somewhere when we're allowed to see each other again.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I want to remind viewers, tomorrow 2 p.m. where we do plays. And John Gallagher Jr., I'm going to talk to you about doing a play. Wednesday matinees at 2, Saturday matinees at 2. Tomorrow is Fuddy Mears with the whole original cast. And that's, I know, isn't that cool? Whole original cast. And tomorrow night is, of course, Kristin Chenoweth. She's our regular Saturday host. So tune in, starsandhouse.com. Keep donating. Thank you, everybody. Lilli, that F sharp was amazing. Peace out. And broadcast. Yes. Too late.